Excuse me if you guys can hear my air conditioner in the background. It's exceedingly hot today, so I'm gonna be recording with it on, and I'm very sorry if you can hear it in the background. So, the young Turks made another video again about a racist video game. Shocker, right? These guys are in the news almost every other month when they talk about video games because they're so ignorantly stupid with the ways they go about it. Okay, so let's begin. The video starts off saying an unbelievably racist game. So you can't even believe how racist this game is. History 2 allows for people to play in the trade of slaves from Africa to the colonial West. Okay, I'm not really seeing anything extremely racist here other than the fact that the slave trade was a thing and it did happen, and it was really, really fucked up and shitty. The game goes on to show a demo, and well, the graphics are subpar. This is like a free online-based game, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's a Steam game, but one thing's for sure, no company made this. This was an independently developed game, and I believe it shows. You can kind of see it. So this seems to be personal to me, more of those educational games where you go on an absolute moral quest and an adventure. It says, experience the transatlantic slave trade. The final tagline. Maybe not the best selling point. Maybe you guys could have said experience history, the transatlantic slave trade, instead of just that, but whatever. Once more, I would like to comment that if this was a movie, I don't think many people would have been as pissed off as they were, though the race card probably would have been thrown out there, just like with this game. That is probably part due to the big difference between games being interactive and movies just being consumable media. So one part that is hammered on is that players decide how to stack black bodies. Now, I really don't know what to say here, since it's kind of like Tetris style, which is just... I'm literally at a loss of words, but like, really? What were you thinking, developer? Okay, I understand that it is required to educate the younger children and teens about the horrors that was slavery, lest we forget how terribly people treated slaves in history. But really, man? The developers couldn't make it anything other than Tetris clone with slaves? This game came out in 2013, and they said it's not getting any attention until now, and there's probably a reason for that, because it was a crappy game. And if someone has to dig up old terrible games to get offended by, I strongly suggest you look up Ethnic Cleansing or Super Columbine High RPG. Those games are beyond offensive, even to me. People are understandably upset, they said. But I'm quite sure that none of those people sat down with this game and tried it to see the educational assets of it. Obviously, it isn't intended to spread hate. God, are these the same people who would get upset at LA Noire for how it displays other races during the 60s? Someone says it runs the risk of desensitizing things and people to this. And the guy out of nowhere says, I understand that people who do video games are out of touch with society and in their own little bubble, and the woman replies, you just opened up Pandora's box. Yeah. Then clarifying, he says, no, not normal society, as they are not normal people. Now, before you pick up those torches, this guy retracts his comments later. But keep those torches up because he seems to have meant what he said. He only retracts it because he thought it was a big company doing it instead of a couple guys. Like, what logic is that? He said, how can you make that and think that is okay? Well, holy shit. If it is in any way, shape, or form offensive, we need to hide it from the world. Cover up that Michelangelo's David. Get rid of those history books. We don't need that shit. We need our safe spaces with coloring books and crayons. Fucking social justice warriors, I swear to God. No, social justice babies. They can't be warriors. Killing is being racist, sexist, and it's offensive. Pathetic. You see where I'm going with this. I don't need to explain my comparison or metaphors, right? Another man goes on to defend that, and this was the man who created Papers, Please, a man who I have a tremendous amount of respect for. And thank God he is smart and talks about the education experience, feeling the tension and anxiety, talks about the educational aspects of this game. Then he talks about the big cartoon eyeballs and the Tetris crap, and I completely agree. The eyeballs were really weird and the Tetris thing was definitely unnecessary. The entire argument is that it trivializes it. Now, they say, how would it make you feel if a black kid came across it? How would a black kid feel? Okay, well, I asked several and they said it was a shitty game with poor graphics and it was boring and they probably wouldn't play it. Nothing more. They didn't get all Christy and upset about this. And it's funny that there are 3 white people sitting here discussing this instead of black people who are supposedly supposed to be the ones being offended. Then they go on to talk about how we are papers, please, in the United States. Jesus Christ, man, you can't even stay on track here. This guy literally goes on a tangent about multiple political things, not talking about the game or racism or anything similar. Seriously, the video derails itself, and it derails itself for a while. So, what do I honestly think? I think the developers didn't have enough time or money to make something amazing, but there are many games that portray horrible things, and I honestly think that if it was hyper-realistic, children and teens technically couldn't play it because of the mature content. Seriously, this game is geared towards the education of young kids to teens, and how would they play a more realistic slave trade game? How would they interact with that, seeing as slaves were beaten, shot, stabbed, raped, murdered, blood, guts, and disease everywhere, on those ships even. So who the hell would be able to play that game besides adults who already know about what happened and were already taught about it? It seems like catch-22 to me, but that's just me. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I will leave a link in the description below, and have yourselves a great day. And now, the important decision of joining the Maverick Rebellion. We are a tight group of individuals who rebel against stereotypes and greater evils that are commonly accepted. ISPs, children being conned out of games, sexism in video games, enough is enough, and the Mavericks have had it. If you choose to subscribe, or stay subscribed, you are joining the fight against injustice by watching my numerous video topics. From net neutrality to publishers covering up botched releases, the Mavericks are always informed on the issues plaguing your gaming experience today. So don't be left out in the cold, and don't let those people keep you down. Join the Maverick Rebellion today and become a member of the community that will listen and engage with you. What are you waiting for? Just click subscribe and you'll be in good company. Mavericks unite!